There we go. Whoop, whoop. Okay, you're on.
We're there?
You're there. You're good.
Hi, everybody. I'm Julie Netting. I am an educator for Prima, and tonight I'm going to show you all my new stamp line that just came out 2 weeks ago at the CHA. And we're going to make, here, I'll show you the tags first. These cute little tags with the stamps and with our newest paper lines. I think we'll show stamps. There's a couple of stamps. Are we down?
Yep, we're gonna
little
go down.
girls, and then we have 4 ladies. We're gonna use this little girl and this lady on our stamps tonight. And I have these cute little border stamps. They're all kind of sewing elements. They're really cute to go with the fashion theme. And Prima had a special block made to use with the stamps because these stamps are huge. They're about, I want to say, 7 inches. 7 1/4, like I said. We want to be accurate here. The other thing that I'm super excited about are these. It's a tag pad, and what it is just a pad of 48 tags that's really, really, really super thick, because I'm always constantly cutting my own tags. So this is like a treasure to me, and they are really fun and easy to use. So we're also going to be using the new paper line, Lifetime. And I'm showing you the 2 pads, which one is the 6 by 6 inch, and the other one is an A4 pad. And I use the pads constantly, and the reason I use them, number one, these in the bigger pad are the perfect size if I want to cut pieces to fit inside of this tag. And then the smaller pad, Rebecca walked away, so I have no idea. Hopefully you're seeing this. The smaller pad, the designs are printed tinier, so it makes for really fun papers to choose clothes from, because we always don't want to use big giant prints for clothes. So that's my story with the products we're using. We're going to use lots. Let me just show you all the flowers and goodies, stamps from that collection, tape from that collection, little vintage trinkets, and these new really cool wood embellishments, which when I open them up, I'll give you closer shots of them. So let's see, let's do the little girl first.
Darcy Lamb says, lovely to see you again.
Thanks, Darcy. It's good to kind of see you. So that's the tag we're going to make. I'm kind of cheating. I used a paper from a line that's coming out shortly in just a couple of weeks called Divine. And it's super, super pretty.
It's divine.
It's gorgeous. It's actually my favorite paper line right now. And I cut out a little doily shaped die. And
was that the Sizzix, or?
You know, I think it's AccuCut, but I'm not really positive, because I buy things and then I, like a fool, I throw away the packaging, and people ask me then what I'm using, and I haven't a clue. So the next time I go to the store I bought it at, I'm going to ask them. So I'm going to cut some paper out of this really, really pretty, it's out of the Lifetime collection. It's keys in peaches and teals. Really, really pretty colors. And I'm going to cut it a little bit smaller than the tag itself.
Uh-oh.
Okay, I lied. I'm not cutting the key paper yet. I'm cutting a piece of paper from Lifetime that's just kind of a mixed media, all kinds of stuff. I don't even know how to explain it. It looks like
Stuff.
somebody maybe gessoed and stenciled and did all kinds of goodies to design this paper. It's really cool. So I'm making that a little bit smaller than the tag. And I have never used this kind of paper trimmer, so
Uh-oh.
I'm kind of
So
like,
I need to get you a different paper trimmer?
you might look for one that actually works. This one isn't cutting terrific,
You want to try this one?
but this, yeah. I'll go ahead.
I think because we use that for math stuff.
Thanks.
You're welcome.
Okay, so
I'm going to move you kind of over here to...
So you can see there's just a little bit of a border showing through. And now, I don't use this kind of paper cutter either, so I have to figure it out. But I'm fine. No worries here. It's funny when you get so used to the stuff you use, you kind of panic. These are all sitting here, I think, from our big retreat we did in Palm Springs. They've been very used and very loved. It actually came out a little bit shorter than I would have liked, but that's okay. This is... Can you grab me a brown ink edger too, please? Now I'm going to cut a piece of key paper a little bit smaller than that. Now we get to the key. And any kind of brown works. I'm not super picky. Dark brown is good. On the key paper, I'm going to just cut the corners a little bit at the top to follow the lines of the tag. And I'm going to distress the edge of this key paper with our handy dandy distressor tool that everybody loves. And the more little rips and tears, the better. I'm going to ink the edges.
Julie, what was your inspiration for creating these stamps?
I've always had an interest in fashion design. I was a fashion illustrator in my early 20s. I worked for a designer that could not draw, so I did her presentation sketches. And we're going to glue this down. And kind of my midlife crisis, I sat down, very unhappy working in retail management for 28 years. I sat down and tried to figure out what I really, really enjoyed doing, and always knew that because I've always been very artsy craftsy that I should be doing something in the artsy craftsy area. And remembering how happy I was fashion illustrating, I tried to figure out how I could incorporate that into my life now. And started doing my artwork, my collages, and my mixed media canvas pieces, and wrote my book Collage Couture, and then decided it would be fun to do something in the scrapbook industry with this. So that's how that all came about. I should do this upside down so people can see, but you know what?
I don't think any of us do when we do it.
I don't think so either. I was trying to note that one time, and I forgot to put my little doily.
I think Julie used to. Julie Bowser used to craft upside down, and I was always amazed by that.
Yeah, when I teach classes, I'll have to like do the hair demos upside down, and it's amazing. So there we have a little background piece, the key paper, and a little doily. And now we are going to go ahead and stamp this little girl on. I've always used any kind of paper with script. I started using French newspapers when I first started doing this kind of artwork. I did not want to shade faces. I did not want to draw faces because I'm not a fine artist. So I thought I had a ton of French and Italian newspapers, and I thought, why not do their bodies out of that, and then I don't have to worry about drawing and shading. So I'm going to stamp her onto this paper with script. It is from our Reflections collection called Scribe. It's an older piece, but I order this by the tons because I use it a lot. It's got a nice tone to it for skin, and it's just the right size and the right size of script and the right I can't think of the word I'm trying to say, so I'm just not going to say it. So now we're going to cut her out. Actually, I prefer coloring in their hair before I cut them out. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to take a light brown pencil, and I'm going to just color it in just like a 6-year-old. And you don't really have to stay in the lines all that much because you're going to cut it. And nothing fancy here. The stamp has all the lines for texture within the hair. So once I do the light brown, I go in with a darker brown, and I just give it some added texture. I could stop here if I wanted.
Could Julie zoom in a bit, please?
It is a little bit hard to see because of the colors. Then I take, this is a marker that's real squishy with a brush tip.
What do you use in blending Prismacolor pencils?
I use the cream pencil. They do have a blender tool, but I prefer using cream. And but I don't do it on something this small because it really doesn't make a huge difference.
These dolls are so stinking adorable.
They're stinking cute. They're so much fun to play with when I do classes. Whether it's a teenager or an 80-year-old woman, everybody just gets into the clothes part and dressing them, and the whole room goes completely quiet. It's like you're just a little kid again. So I'm going to just quickly cut her out. This one is easy to cut. Some are harder than others. Sorry, when I did these stamps and did the stiletto heels on some. Not easy. Not easy at all. But, you know, they're not easy to wear either. We are going to stamp her dress on a pattern paper, so we don't even need to cut her dress out at this point. I learned that the first time I stamped. I thought I spent all that time cutting her out, and I didn't need to. So we're just going to cut through that. I used a distressed ink because that was just what was on hand here. I forgot an ink pad, but it doesn't really matter. Whatever kind of ink you guys prefer. I use whatever is close at hand. I am the most flexible, lazy.
Scrapping Corner said, "Holy Julie, them big scissors to be fussy cutting."
You know what? This is what Rebecca gave me. I'm sorry, but I cannot cut with those scissors. And I was a design major in college, so we actually got graded on our cutting. The teacher would come by and run her fingers along the paper to make sure we didn't have bumps.
What paper are you using, do you know?
Scribe Reflections.
There you go. There you go, Carrie.
It's my favorite paper to cut their skin out of, or their bodies, I should say. So we got her cut out. I'm going to ink her edges. Not of the dress, because we're not going to see the dress. Sometimes I'll go in and rub some ink around the skin, and sometimes I don't. It just depends on my mood and my laziness.
She used black ink. She's using the black distress ink, but you can use any color ink that you would like.
I use black or brown, and I can't say that I really have a preference. I just do it. I am cutting her dress. You can see she's got a little dress with a ruffle. So the ruffle is this pink hexagon paper that is out of the Divine pad. And I'm going to stamp her ruffle. Make sure I have ink on the whole bottom of the ruffle. And I'm going to go ahead and stamp that part. Then I'm going to stamp her dress. At this point, you don't have to worry about stamping her head or her legs. This is a paper from the Ladybird collection called Terrace, and it's a blue chevron print. So stamp it I should make Rebecca cut while she's standing there.
I know, right?
So we're going to cut the pink ruffle. And
Do you know what the retail price is on your stamp?
well, every retailer is going to be different.
Approximately MSRP.
Around $7. Somewhere in there.
Yeah. I think they're $6.99 to $7.50, somewhere in there.
When we get, can you see this? We're going to cut, we're going to leave some of that pink on there because we're going to layer it under her dress. So now we're going to cut her dress. And we're going to cut that bottom ruffle off because we just cut it in the pink. And yes, this is a lot of cutting. But cutting is super therapeutic for me. I could cut all day. Well, I kind of do cut all day.
Do you know what the MSRP is on the tag book?
The same.
Yeah, I think they're $6.99 as well.
Everything was about the same in the block. I think I saw over the weekend in a store for around 11.
How many figures of dolls?
There's 6 here, and there's borders, and there's background stamps. I don't have any of the background stamps here. I didn't use them in this project. So I am inking the edges. I'm a sloppy inker because I do mixed media.
Hold on, I'm going to show the tag book here. This is the tag book here.
This is a great way to use your scraps. So what I'm going to do now is glue on her dress. I'm going to glue, just get glue right on the top part of that ruffle and get it right under her dress.
Oh, Julie, you are so awesome.
Isn't that cute? Isn't it just so cute? I can't stand it. It's so cute. And
Yes, Susie, the tags are all the same in the book, in the tag book.
yes, they are.
They're super cool though, because they're like a heavier cardstock. They're not the standard cardstock. They're heavier than that.
They're really heavy. And I had thought about doing different patterns, but that would have been probably more expensive. And I do so much covering up in my tags that you don't really see a lot of it anyway. So she is glued and she's put together. I take my scraps and whatever's laying on the table, I will cut little goodies. You can see I did some little banners here on the side, little ribbon banners. So let me grab something fun. What a mess.
Yes, the tags are all the same in the book. The designs are all the same. It's basically a ledger type paper so that You can use them on any project. It's very neutral.
She's going to get popped off this page. So I'm gonna
kick in now.
lay her where I want her. What is that noise?
Did you name the dolls?
I didn't.
You get to name them whatever you want.
I have the hardest time naming my stuff. I have a really hard time. I'm writing a book right now and I'm having a really hard time. The girls all have names. And what a process. Because you kind of run out of names after a while. So I am going to...
Sharon thinks he should be called Sharon, Carrie, Rebecca, Sherry, Julie.
Maybe next time if we do another collection.
What size are the tags?
They could be the Prima girls. I don't really have anything to measure them right
do. You
here.
have a. She's busy.
Well, that's your job, Rebecca.
Yes, I'm the measuring girl. The
If
tags are 8.5 inches tall.
If I lose my train of thought, then we're all in trouble.
8.5 inches tall by 3.5 inches wide.
So I lay a couple of little ribbon banners across the bottom there. In the tiny pad. This is why I like the tiny pads. I can't even tell you enough. There's all kinds of pages with goodies to cut out that are just perfect tag size. So, which I had pre-cut out somewhere, but who knows? Because I have a big mess. There is this great stamp from the Lifetime collection here that I'm going to use. Here's my little tags. On this, it's almost like this was designed for me because this is a flower that I used to typically draw on a lot of my artwork. And people actually kind of remember me by this flower, so I thought it was really cool that it was here.
The stamp she's using now is from the Lifetime collection.
And I'm just going to kind of stamp it off the edge. I'm too lazy to put a block down. I just squish it with my, because I am a lazy crafter. I have an assortment of beautiful Prima flowers that is the Lifetime collection. And I'm going to go ahead and lay a couple down on this.
Okay, they want to see a close-up of the stamped flower, so I'm going to
Where is it?
move it over here.
I did use distress ink, so it's not it's not a perfect flower, but you know what? I'm not into perfect when I do things, so I'm okay with that. So I'm going to use a rose.
The camera. There we go.
Usually I don't cut my roses off because I curl the ends of them. So I'll go ahead and curl what I have left. Here's all the woodies. Wood embellishments. Do you see them?
Which ones?
The wood embellishments.
Where did you put them? You just had them.
Rebecca's falling asleep on me.
No, I'm reading. I'm trying to
I
catch
know.
up with chatting. And
I'm telling you, I'm losing everything.
you don't have that much stuff to lose. I don't understand. How did you lose so
So out of that sheet of paper in that 6x6 pad, I just I cut out a couple of little tags that I'm gonna.
Okay, we've lost some wood embellishments, so sorry if we're a little distracted. She showed them.
Oh, they're right here.
Ah, she put them underneath.
Rebecca put them underneath. That Rebecca, you gotta watch her.
That's how I roll, man.
I'm gonna take one of the border stamps and I'm not gonna put it on the block because it really, I'm just doing a little tiny piece on the bottom edge there. And maybe I'll go up the side a little bit for fun. That would have been disastrous.
I'm showing the stamp.
The stamp is like a little embroidered looking daisy is what I was going for.
Oh, you have to cut it.
It's new.
It's brand new. Just for you. Cut a bigger hole.
Gosh. Whoa.
First you can't get it to come out, then you have too much coming out.
This is the goopiest glue in the world.
It is.
So I'm just going to kind of figure out where I want. She's going to go right here. So I'm just going to put my little flowers. These are the wood embellishments, which are super, super, super fun. They're like balsa wood. And what I did with this one, but I didn't bring it, I used Distress Stain. And
You can use the Prima chalk edgers for that.
You
Do you need
probably
some
can.
yellow?
A yellow, yeah. I don't have yellow at home. And then this tape from the Lifetime collection, which is super, super cute. Can't find the end.
This is the yellow I like to use.
Probably, yes.
Because everything that I do is good.
I know. It's so true. And I'm putting a piece of this tape right here. Oops. We'll tuck that end under because it moves around so well. She's going to go here. I
Good.
cut out.
The
And-
tag book is called Tag Book. We're very creative with our names. Sorry about that.
Rebecca got to name that one. It
Yep.
took her a week.
I didn't know what to do.
So look at the little Woody guy. They're so cute. And I'm going to glue him down.
They said it's a really special name.
That there. Put her down.
Somebody said, wouldn't the tag be beautiful to use instead of a traditional birthday card?
Yes.
Very funny.
Who said
No, I
that?
can't spell tag.
It took her a long time just to think of the name, and now you want her
Now
to
you want me
spell
to
it?
spell it too?
Put a little hoop-de-doo in here. Oh, she needs something in her hair. She needs a flower. Because we are the flower people.
Oh, look, I even got the name wrong. It's called Tag Pad, and I said Tag Book. I don't even know what I called it.
More little flowers from that collection. And I want the smallest. I'm going to take just a little bit of water and ooh, I misted it more than I should have. That's okay. And I'm going to crinkle it up and make it smooshy and try and not get black ink all over it. And glue it right at her headband.
Don't you know the secret of using that?
No.
Oh, I'll have to show you.
And voila. We could do the edge of the tag. Cute, cute, cute. I just like holding these anchors, so I use them on everything that I can get my hands on.
Yeah, the chalk edges are very cool. They're super easy to use, and you can use them on anything. And that little pointy in the middle, I mean at the top, is nice.
And they have a handle.
Yeah.
So there you go. Easy, easy.
Oop, hold it up for a little bit longer. Well, let me
I'll just leave it there.
All right, we got one tag done, ladies and gentlemen. Maybe there's some gentlemen, I don't know.
I don't know either.
Great job. Oh, they need to bling up the belt, they said.
Ah. That's funny. I don't use a ton of bling. I don't know why. Maybe because I used to work in jewelry, so I don't know. And I don't use them particularly with the little girls. It's just
girls.
there's 6 girls.
So we're gonna show. She's gonna use one, but I'm gonna show you the other girls because she went over them a little bit fast, I guess. So, oh, look at you can't even see it. Hold on. That was just a tease.
I'm super fast.
I'm such a tease. Look at that. All right, can you see that? I'm gonna put it down here. I'm not gonna see it this way.
Okay. I'm show them what I'm doing.
All right, you're gonna have to wait.
Okay,
All
fine.
right, so this is girl skinny. I call this skinny girl.
She's wearing like a 70s kind of peasant-y look.
Okay, meanwhile, Julie's over here stamping the next girl, who happens to be my favorite girl.
This is my favorite too.
This is teenage girl.
Teenage girl.
It is like early 20s, late teens girl. There's 6 different girls, Carrie. Not 8. We wish there were 8. Okay. The next one is tween. Can you see that? The lights are really reflecting.
They're the little girls that are kind of.
She calls them little girls, but they are 7 inches tall. They're not really little. So.
But they don't have breasts, and they're kind
That's
of
true.
have that chunkier.
Okay.
So they're little girls.
They're little girls.
And they have bigger heads.
This is definitely teenage, like prom girl. She has a little crown and everything. So this is.
Or she could also be kind of ballerina-ish.
Okay, ballerina because she drew them, so she probably knows better than
Well,
me.
she's not a ballerina. She is like a little prom girl, but
So,
people have used her
where's
as
the
a.
last one? The one you're using. The one you're.
Oh, the one
No,
that
no.
I used.
No, not that
And
one.
this
I already
one.
showed that one.
Well, you showed that one too.
I didn't show this one. This one is still on the pat on the block. So,
She's like the
but you'll get a better look at her
Dancing with
as
the
we do it.
Stars lady.
This
I don't
is-
know. She just looks like she would be
This is my favorite girl.
the ballroom dancer.
Okay. So she's coloring in the hair.
And I'm coloring in her shoes. And these shoes, I'm sorry, ladies, these are really hard to cut out. Because when I was making stamps, I'm not a stamper, so I have to confess, I didn't know what I was doing.
She has a Marilyn Monroe dress on, they said.
Oh, okay. And I thought you just stamped on white paper and colored it in. Well, no.
Oh, Christina, you obviously haven't looked at my Facebook because I am most definitely not Miss Glamour. I am the jeans and t-shirt girl.
What?
She said that this stamp is me, Miss Glamour, and I said, no, no.
Although she did look pretty hot last weekend. So she can dress it up.
Yeah, Frank actually called me a rock star. Go figure.
So we'll just, this one is the most intricate, I think. Well, no. They're all pretty intricate of the ladies.
Ah, why does it keep doing that? It goes out of focus.
But
for
this
some
is
reason.
super. Again, I'm cutting her dress out of a different, I almost said different fabric. You could use fabric, by the way, if you wanted. Oh, let's watch.
Aw, thanks, Deb.
Let's watch Julie cut this heel.
Yes. Oh, look it.
What?
The scissors that she said were so terrible, she pulled out to cut in that little tiny corner there. How about that?
I almost cut off the heel.
Oh, somebody said to use glossy accents on the shoes.
Oh, good idea.
Give her a
Patent
little patent
leather.
leather look.
That's a
That'd be
really
cute.
good idea. I am going to use these scissors to cut out the inside of her arm because I don't want to pull out the craft knife and all that. Gosh. This is her waist is probably 1/4 of an inch. Why?
Just like mine.
Yeah, like mine.
I don't even know why. I would never even do that. There's just no way.
Well,
But look at how cute it looks when it's done.
you don't really have to. I mean, you could even bubble cut around them, which I did on the stamp that's on the cover of the, show them that, on the cover of the tag pad. Okay, the scissors have to go now.
So here's
And
where
it's cute.
she didn't cut out the arm, but it's still cute.
And I did that so it would look like a stamp. Oh my gosh.
We could call these Julie's Dream Girls.
Her neck.
What is her neck? Like an
So-
1/8 of an inch?
Yeah. She is kind of the hardest one.
Sharon said we could call them the Dream Girls, you know, like in our dreams.
Yeah, Sharon, we could. We could. We definitely could. So this is the one we're making. think they shut off the air conditioning when they left.
Yeah, I can go turn it back on.
Oh, I'm fine.
You sure?
And again, I just cut pieces out of that paper pad. I'm going to distress my bottom edge.
I have to show this. Okay, seriously? Could she be any skinnier? I mean, come on. She looks like she's wearing like bubble pants or something.
Harem pants.
That's right. She's got her harem pants on today.
Well, you got to remember though, when you're doing fashion illustration, it's about the dress. And that's why the figures are usually so just out of proportion. They always have longer legs to show more skirt. That's just a given. And they are thinner. I have drawn them to make them look regular sized, but they just don't come across as a fashion statement. I'm using the paper that I used on her dress. I punched a piece to kind of tie it all in, and that's good.
Someone said she had her hammer pants on.
Yeah, yeah. That's going to be in the next one.
Oh, can't touch this. Oh my goodness.
You guys.
We're terrible. Someone says, I don't think she's thin. I think she's over tall.
She is tall. She is thin. And yeah, she's kind of all of the above. I really, really like all the goodies on these pages. I know I already said that, but I'm going to say it again because I decided I'm going to cut another piece to cover up a boo-boo that no one will ever know that I did. Isn't anybody talking?
Oh, they are, but I'm multitasking.
Okay, Rebecca, don't text while doing live with
I have
Prima.
to text Carrie. We need some full-figured dolls. Because I'm a big girl and I need a few extra pounds on my dolls.
You know, I actually did try it once, and they just didn't, I don't know, I just couldn't get them, and it wasn't, I just couldn't do it. As simple as that. This is how I learned to draw back in the day, and sometimes you just can't change as you get old.
All Scrap Info said that she loved all of your samples in last year's CHA and was excited to see them in stamps this year.
Cool. This is from the Lisa Gibbons Wishes and Dreams line. I'm going to stamp her dress.
And the paper line that she was using before this was the Lifetime paper. It was also in the A4 pad size and also the 6x6 paper pad size. She's used both tonight.
trying to see if she's inked up.
Fat
pretty
doll in a cat suit.
good. No, that's scary. Who wrote that? Who is that person?
I'm not saying, but it was funny.
So we're going to cut her little dress. Since I don't have to do her arm, it's going to be way easier.
Who makes the glue stick you're using? Is it really that good?
Tombow. Is that how you say that? Fine.
I think so.
It was recommended to me by a store, and I do like it.
I'm not a glue stick girl. I use a tape runner for everything.
I use all kinds of stuff. I can't say I have a preference. Here we go, that 1/4 inch waistline. Okay, little scissors. It's like a doctor. You need different scissors for different things. We don't want that neckline any lower than it is. Very skinny.
Leanne, actually all of our collections this time came with 12 by 12 paper pads. Every collection had a 12 by 12 paper pad that included 2 of each sheet of the paper double-sided, as well as the sticker sheet with journaling spots on it and a sticker sheet with alphabets on it. So look for those in your stores.
So I'm going to glue the top of her dress because obviously I can't get a glue stick into that little area. And now her hammer pants. If anyone's just
She's
coming in,
covering
they
up
don't know.
her hammer pants. Just so y'all know.
But you know, you could kind of design your own clothes and you could do hammer pants. Or I Dream of Jeannie.
The sticker sheets in the paper pads are actually stickers. They're cardstock stickers. They're not the canvas ones. Those actually are sold in separate packages. A4 is actually more like an 8.5 by 11. It's a little larger than that. I think it's more like 9 by 11.5 or something like that. It's a standard size in Europe.
Here's these teeny tiny tags that I cut out of that paper. Because I guess I like things teeny and tiny. And then
Just said, no, I love the hammer pants.
I'm sorry. I get really quiet when I'm into it.
I know,
And I
right?
don't mean to.
That's what I'm here for, but then I get really quiet because I'm reading.
And what a team
We're not a
we
good
make.
team, right?
And sometimes I glue these down flat. Sometimes I don't. Sometimes I pop them up, just depending on my mood. And I'm going to go ahead and place her. Oh my gosh, these things do not come off. Why is nothing ever easy when you're
Because
supposed to do something in an hour?
it's all good. You're doing great. Frank has joined us.
Her little tummy is pooching out here, so I'm going to cut it.
Oh, sure, she can't just let her have a fat tummy. I see how you are.
Well, we don't want skin.
Hi, Frank.
Hi, Frank. Pulling out some goodies.
You said McCall's used to have a punch-out doll?
Yes, we waited patiently. Oh, that must be the one. I put the wrong number in because we don't have it. Yes.
Scrubby? It says Scrubby Sue, but I think you mean Scrappy Sue, right? Anyway, she says she has a poochy tummy too. Can you trim hers as well?
It would hurt. I took the little wooden leaf and just went around the edges and let it kind of bleed into the wood. So it's semi-natural with a little bit of that color. I take any flat flower and I scrunch them.
She likes to scrunch her flowers. That's just wrong.
Flowers grow that way. They don't grow perfect.
Yeah, but I like them perfect.
Well, they're not perfect in nature, so they bother me. And I don't have this really pretty rose here because I told Rebecca the wrong style number and she gave me butterflies.
Butterflies are pretty too.
We should blame Rebecca on it.
Yeah, it's all my fault.
She gets blamed for everything else.
I do. So I'll take it. So what you have to do is squeeze it out and then you have to rub the tip along it. And then it won't be as stringy.
I like it stringy. It's fun. It's like eating spaghetti, getting that last noodle in your mouth. I always put things off the page too. I don't know why, but I just do. The dress, the flower, the leaf a little bit. Because I think it looks pretty and more natural when it's and then I kind of fold some of my flat flowers, it's hard to really say, and tuck them in. Here's the beautiful trinkets that we all love. I'm going to pull one out. I wonder if this will glue it.
It will.
Okay.
Fabric-Tac works on everything.
And I'm going to put her right here. And these are really cool too, if I can find them. I just saw the clips. There they are. I don't know if you can see that very well. The paper clips. Every line has their own paper clips. This is from the engraver line, which is out now. And their little keys. And I like this because the Lifetime line had a lot of key elements in it, so it kind of overlapped nicely. And I'm just going to clip that on the edge because it's cute. I am going to take some of her hair and put in a little bit of black marker because the colored pencil wasn't enough for me.
Oh, awesome.
What's that?
That would be our speakers. Speakers that haven't worked all night.
So
They're just deciding to try them.
can they hear us?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. How much time do we have?
whenever you're done.
Because it's pretty much done.
It's 7:30 now.
So there you have it. And as you can see with layering backgrounds onto your tags, that print of the original tag isn't really going to show up all that much, which is why I liked it very subtle, because it allows you to use all the pretty papers. And I think that's pretty much it. Any other questions out there? No?
Can I see the other tag? I wanna show them up close. Let's see the other tag. And this was the first tag that we did. Lots of claps and fantastic job, Julie. They're beautiful, they're gorgeous. Love the dolls.
Thank you.
Love the stamps.
They're a lot of fun. It's like playing paper dolls. For those of you that
Okay.
can remember.
And it's late, so look at Julie. She's done. Oh man. Carrie, I have no idea. I'm holding the camera so I can't text you back, but I really don't know. Anybody have any questions for Julie? They enjoyed watching. Love the
Thank you.
stamps and all the paper embellishments.
Lots of cool paper.
Julie looks so pretty. Question, Julie, what about cutting her head and tilting a different direction for some different looks?
Let's try it.
Well, why don't we just try it right now? Ah, she just beheaded her. No.
Of course, she is stuck on there, but we'll. There you have two different views. We could go, when I do classes and canvases, I always tell them the tilt of the head gives them their personality. When their head is straight on,
Sharon said, off with her head.
they look snooty to me. She looks really snooty.
Yeah, she does kind of look snooty, huh?
Which is okay, you know. But yeah. Good question.
Awesome question.
I have the other thing you could do. I know it's getting late, but
You're good.
on I just did this with one of them. I cut the hair kind of up like that into a poof, and then lay it right. And then I did we'll just pretend this is black. I did kind of a swirly little bun off to the side or something. Oh, you're never going to see that.
Yeah, it's
but-
hard to see that, but if you can see, she kind
But
of put
you
a little
can play
circle
with
up
it.
there.
Or you could, like, here's her neck. Oh, it doesn't write on this. You could do like a, maybe a ponytail or like a little flip. Once you, on your stamping paper and color it in, you can change their hairdo. I've done that. I have, however, not ever cut off their heads. This was a first.
But it works.
But it works.
Yes, this was taped.
You can also put a photograph in there too, which I think someone on
Yeah,
the design
Natalie.
team did.
Natalie Callback actually did one on her for one of our samples for CHA, where she cut off their heads and put on people's heads, and it was really cute.
Because that would be really cute on a scrapbook page.
Yeah, it would. All right, ladies. Well, we're going to be signing off here, but we want to thank you for coming. Julie's going to say goodbye.
Thank you all.
Up here.
Oh,
They're
thank
up
you
here.
all.
She's looking at the computer screen.
Because that's where you're writing things. Stop.
She's so cute.
I'm tired.
All right, girls. We'll see ya. Thank you so much for joining us.
Bye.